Today we are going to be looking at commissions in QuickBooks Enterprise. A little quick reminder, here at Fourlane we do have on-demand support. It does cover a myriad of issues. So today we're going to look at commissions. We're going to be looking at these sales reps, commissions for the transaction level versus the item level, and then of course reporting. My name is Kaylin Leland. I will be walking you through these demo today on all of these pieces. So this is our QuickBooks Enterprise 24 file. First, coming up to lists, we do have our sales rep list. Okay, on our sales rep list, right now I just have KL. It is a type other name right now, just so you know. If you do create a new sales rep, those pieces can have the sales rep name, initials, and then type. Okay, and then of course if they're active or inactive. Okay. So one thing about that field, okay, in the sales rep list, if we come over here to our invoices, we can create our invoices, and it has, over here, our sales rep right here as a drop down, KL other names. Okay. If we do our sales rep right here, just want to show you what that looks like. Say we have our test item. We have our assemblies. Let's have our inventory items. Let's say that they want 40 inventory items. And then maybe 5 assemblies. So we have our invoice here. We have our pieces. Okay. We can save it. Oh. So what this does is it will, and now that it's saved, it has the rep here, and we can go ahead and run our commissions, run our pieces on the invoice as a whole. Okay. So if we come up here and go to sales, there are sales by rep summary and rep detail. So if we click into this sales by rep summary, it will show $650, right? Which is of course our invoice amount. You can see that it includes the individual item codes, not the tax. So if you're looking at the total invoice, right, the invoice does include the tax. It doesn't go based on that number. It is by the sum of the individual items. Okay. So that makes up that 650. If I was to click into this 650, right, you can see that it's 4 items, testing assembly and inventory 1, quantity, sales price, and then the amount, right? This is the total amount of those items, excluding the sales tax again, because it's not the total amount on the invoice. Okay. Now, one thing that we do have with this is we can run any report that we would like inside of QuickBooks for our sales tax, for our sales reps, things like that. You can have up here in customized report additional columns, additional filters. We can do all kinds of things. QuickBooks out of the box, though, doesn't do the math on these items. So if sales reps KL, if I get, say, 5% commissions based on these pieces, right, it's not going to do that math. We would have to create a QBAR, QuickBooks Advanced Reporting report. It's a one-time to build it, right, to be able to do the math if you wanted it to calculate that 650, okay? It is said one time, and then you could run it as many times as you want. Without that piece, we would have to put this into an Excel sheet and then do any sort of math, commissions percentage, things like that that we would like. okay? Now, I know sometimes we don't want to have the sales reps on the actual invoices, right? So this is applied to the invoice itself. If we come over here to the customer center, right, customer test, we can come over here to settings. We have job settings, additional info. The additional info right here, you can assign a sales rep to the customers themselves, okay? So what this does is the next time that we have an invoice, okay, for this customer test, you can see how this sales rep field was automatically filled in. So if you do assign your sales reps to specific customers, right, we can do that here, right? The other thing that we have that I've seen some people do is do different sales reps per item, okay? Now this is just a little bit more complicated. On our items list, we would come in here to any item. Custom fields, there's our sales reps items custom fields field, okay? So if we do assign sales reps to the individual items, right, we would have it right there, okay? Once we have that, don't forget, then we're gonna have to go over to the templates and add that column to our templates. So if I come over here to additional customizations and then column, right, we can add the sales reps for the items to the actual items. You can have it on the screen or print, either or, whatever that case may be, okay? So what that does, when we create an invoice for the test, right, test customer, you can see right here that we have our sales reps items, custom field, okay? Now, when we create this custom field, right now, I just have it as a text. We can do a drop down for it. But what it does is we have our inventory item. Okay. We're going to sell these pieces, okay? Sales reps initials, KL. Right, we're going to sell them for $80. We save this invoice, and here it said has the quantity, has the prices, lot numbers, all of those pieces. You can create a sales by item report, right? And you can customize this report to search the columns, sales reps by item, okay? So you can have all of this information. You can see right there that this inventory item has sales reps KL for it. So if we did need to do some manipulation for sales reps by items, we can do that as well, okay? Beyond that, it would really just be, we can do the custom reports. I would suggest transaction details. So let's add that sales reps by item field. What we're going to do is transaction type invoice. Okay. We also want to show our items. Quantity and then sales price. Okay, so you can see here on our invoice right here, this test, right, has our sales price, has our pieces with sales rep items, the KL, that piece is right there. So again, depending on how you do the commissions, depending on how you do these pieces, we can put those custom fields, put those custom pieces in any place throughout QuickBooks, and then we just have to run the reports to do it. Okay. Right out of the box, then it will give you the information, but you will have to put it in Excel to do any percentages, to calculate any of those actual payments. Another way that I've seen people do commissions is they would have the sales rep up here and then the classes. Okay, so since the classes is here, right, we can also have classes on our item pieces. So then it's just a part of the manipulation. Okay, let me show you a little bit about that QuickBooks Advanced Reporting. Under Reports, it is here under Advanced Reporting. I'm gonna have to switch my file to multi-user mode. Just give it a minute. Whenever I'm sure a lot of you experience as these pieces come up or restart, it just takes a minute to get it moving again. So in here, Reports Advanced Reporting. Oh, now whenever you do have Advanced Reporting, what Advanced Reporting does is it'll take that database from the time that you open it up, and it will read all the information on those reports, so then you can manipulate it to see whatever it is that you would like to see, okay? Now, the difference between advanced reporting and the regular reporting within QuickBooks itself is that the advanced reporting, we can program in formulas or filters. We can make that do the math, right, that we can't do in those regular reports. Okay. One of the other things about sales reps and commissions is sales reps, they can be outside vendors or employees. Okay. So when we go and look at that sales reps field, we would want to show like which piece of this can it be is that sales rep. And then if it's an employee, we would have that payroll type commissions, right, as a payroll type. So then we can add that commissions into the paycheck and it can run through their regular paycheck. So there's a question here about allocating expenses to the sales reps. Traditionally, just a second, and I'll show you what those pieces look like. When we go to enter any bills, checks, pieces like that, you will see that on the bill, on the items, on the pieces, we don't have that sales rep from the QuickBooks side option available, okay? Now, if we did want to assign, expenses to the sales reps, once something is a custom field, okay, if I right-click on Customize Columns, we can enter whatever it is that we would like, right? Let's add all kinds of things to our items list, right, on that side. So if we wanted to start tracking maybe job costing, expenses, margins, whatever the case may be, we can do so using this item field. And all I did, just so you know, is right click to customize columns, and then all those custom fields are available. Okay, so then when we come to run our reports, I'm just putting in some data so that we can have something to see. Okay, so I saved a bill, $5,000 sales rep on the item side for KL. Okay, when we go to run our reports, if we do a custom report, let's do our custom report on transaction details for this month, sales rep items, right? You could see that there's invoices and bills on this report, and we have KL right here on both of them. Okay, again, then it's just a matter of manipulation for whatever percentage, whatever it is that we're looking for. Okay. On our expenses side, if we go to add columns, you can add the sales reps here as well. Okay, so if we do the expense sales rep, there's that drop down for KL. Okay. 5100 save. Okay. We can look at that same report. If you do the sales reps by summary report, okay, it now has $1,000, $1,050. If I drill into those details, the sales rep inherently filters invoices only to show that balance. If I go up here, all sales items, transactions, I'm going to click multiple transaction type for invoices and bills. Okay. This report itself, see, it's only showing those invoices. So if you did want to attach that field to any expenses, anything besides the invoice, I would suggest going that custom reporting route. Okay. That way you could see other types. Okay. You would also be able to get it by item instead of by transaction level. Okay. And some of the things by item, if I come back to the invoices, I've seen some customers where this one on top, maybe this one on top gets sales reps KL, and inventory item below gets AB. Okay, so if you did want to track the different line items, the different pieces on it, you would have to do it by item so that you could get all of the percentages correct. We went over sales reps, transaction level versus the item level, and those reportings that go with it. Our upcoming topics, remember this is the every Wednesday webinar, we'll be looking at 1099 mappings, accounts receivable, and year-end close. If you would like to look at anything else, please let us know and we'd be happy to do that. And thank you everybody for being with us today. I look forward to speaking with you again.